Ben, it's opening day at Lakeland. Hell is frozen over. We're here, doing what we can to try to catch up with what's going on. But a couple surprises. And one of the surprises, of course, is seeing a diesel engine on the front of one of Glasair Aviation's finest. What's going on behind this project?
Well, we definitely see the need, not always necessarily just in the United States, but in other countries for alternative fuels. And so we've been looking at it for a little bit now. We've looked at some other companies and kind of narrowed it down to one in particular, mostly because it's a certified engine. They've got over 3,500 of these engines flying right now, so they've got good reputation. And so we ended up going with what is called a Centurion 2.0S by Continental, originally designed by Thielert. We've had a lot of customers that have asked, hey, do you have a diesel yet for us? And the response has always been, well, no, not yet. The market wasn't there at that time, and so it hasn't been until more recently that we've had some more options in the diesel. And so it's really driven just by customer demand and getting a feel for what people want.
So what's that bring to this airframe? Tell me about what happens to the sportsman under these circumstances.
As far as the airframe is concerned, it's going to be the same airframe. We're going to have the same capabilities as far as the panel is concerned. They're going to be IFR-rated panels. The speeds that we're expecting to get out of the diesel will be fairly comparable to a 180 horsepower Lycoming. We do a lot of installations with the IO360, and it'll be very similar to the IO360. Where we're really gaining is on the fuel burn. So we should really see our fuel burns go down quite a bit, from 7 to 8 gallons per hour down to about 5 or 6 gallons per hour. So we're really going to see some really good reductions in the fuel burn, which will also translate to the distance that you can fly on a tank of gas. We're really going to be able to increase that quite a bit.
What does a builder need to know about an installation of this kind? Is there a certain amount of hand-holding that's going to be necessary that hasn't happened in the past?
The engines, I don't want to say that they're more finicky, but they're going to require a little bit more attention than a Lycoming. A Lycoming, you can beat it up, you can throw sand at it. They're proven. This diesel engine in particular has been around for about 10 years, so that we've got a fairly good idea of what the engine can do. But the engine is higher tech. The engine operates on what's called a FADEC, which is a full authority digital engine control unit. So there's going to be no solid linkages from your throttle to the engine. This is all done electrically. So there's going to be a lot more to do with the electrical components of the airplane that on, say our IO360s, most of those are mechanical. So that will require some attention to detail. We're going to have to be a little bit more careful with it. There's going to be more support on our end on helping people make this transition, because I think the transition is coming. It's just how do we enter that transition and when, and we feel that now is the time to start making that transition. It's not required yet, but we don't know when it will be. And so, yes, initially with new technologies, you do normally have to spend a little bit more attention to detail and be a little bit more careful with it initially.
When can we expect to see these in the field?
We should know within a couple of weeks here on what the flight characteristics are of it, because I know there's going to be some things to iron out, some wrinkles to figure out. But our goal is that we'll be able to start delivering them in the fourth quarter of this year. Things always change, and we're prepared for that. We want to make sure that we get this right, that we're not just throwing it out unprepared. We want to make sure that it is 100% correct. So if we have major wrinkles, it may take a little bit longer. We know the engine's going to work. We just need to now match it to our airframe. And we've also taken a kit. It's a retrofit kit for a Skyhawk 172 and installed it onto ours. So we're utilizing some of the advancements and testing that other people have done to retrofit these engines onto a small airplane similar to ours.
Obvious question. Yes. Pricing.
The kit is $89,000 for the diesel engine. Our base model airplane is $189,000. So if you were to add those two together, you get $280,000 for the diesel kit, and that comes painted. All the fly-off hours. This is an experimental aircraft, so there's a 40-hour fly-off period that needs to occur. That includes all of that, and what's done in the end is a fully painted, fully operational, all the bugs worked out of it airplane.
Now, is this going to be available through the 2-week program?
Yes, we are planning to make this available to the 2-week taxi program.
Well, Ben, we look forward to flying it a couple of months hence. Give us a call, and more important than anything else, looking forward to seeing how the whole package turns out.
Aero-TV is brought to you by... Since the early days of powered flight, pilots have struggled with landing in crosswinds. In fact, crosswinds and wind gusts cause more landing accidents than fog, thunderstorms, and icing combined. That's where the Redbird X-Wind SE comes in. By placing pilots in gusty crosswind conditions for extended periods of time, the X-Wind SE gives instructors all the time they need to teach the pilot the proper techniques for landing in crosswind conditions. For more information on Redbird X-Wind SE and Redbird's entire line of flight training devices, visit www.redbirdflightsimulations.com.